Question for Joe and Baz. What are your top red flags in a woman that will stop you from dating her? You want to take this one?
For me now, I'm just feeling her. I will feel the vibe, the energy, and I would know. But I would say, so I'm giving whenever I date. Now I'm in a relationship, but when I dated, I give them a chance. I First of all, there needs to be the physical attraction. This is number one. Then when we go on a date and we talk, I'm talking specifically for me, and I think it can apply to all men. I really want her to be stimulating me intellectually before she stimulates me physically. I need to see that I have someone to talk to. This is very important that she's educated and not necessarily she doesn't need to have a PhD, but she's educated about relationships. She's educated about life. My current partner, she's a therapist. So for me, it was when she told me that she's a therapist, I said, I like you already. Because she understands, even when we have slight arguments, it's not escalating at all. She knows what to do. So it's very important to know for yourself. I would say what you need to do is to figure out what kind of woman you want to be with, and then what kind of men you need to be in order for you to attract this kind of woman. And when you start dating, you start to see if this woman will be compatible partner, future partner for you, or not. I think we just need to keep it simple. Other red flags, if she said, for example, she cheated, many of them are honest about it. And you can tell her, what did you learn from it? And yeah, people can recover from it and people can do it once and not do it again. I don't believe that once a cheater, always a cheater. I mean, I don't believe that. I think that if she cheated and you ask her, what did you learn from your past relationship? You can ask questions to figure this out. And I ask sneaky questions when I say, and I said, what are your red flags what do you see as red flags in a relationship? When you ask her this question, this is where she will let you know everything she went through. If she tell you, I like a loyal man, she got cheated on. If she tell you, like whatever she tells you, you can figure out what you went through, and this will be the truth. When you tell her what are your red lines, what are your red flags, and what are your boundaries, this is where you can figure out what she went through. And if you're wanting to deal with the baggage that she brings, or ask her if she resolved that, and you need to use your intuition. This is where you will need to date. You will need to see this for yourself and figure out your masculine frame and how she will be able to fit into your frame. If she will, great. If she's not, remember all the time you have to hold the right to walk away in any time. Even the girl that I'm seeing right now, if she misbehave even slightly, I am not taking any bullshit. I love her. It's great, but I'm willing to walk away at any given time. So
That
I
is
hope.
so important. I can't stress that enough. How important that is.
Yeah.
The ability to walk away and mean it.
Now, many men don't have this ability.
No, it's not. Look, it's easy to say, especially when you're involved after a year or so. And I'm not going to get into that because I'll get into
Yeah,
another whole spiel. Um, so yeah, red flags. I think that stuff kind of comes out in a wash. I don't think you're going to find out everything you need to in a first date. First thing, like Pat says, any relationship starts physical.
yeah,
You got to like what you're looking at, and she's got to like what she's looking at.
yeah.
But it is important that you ask these questions that you already know the answers to her answers of the questions, whether it's a yes or a no.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, was it, and if you pay attention, she'll tell you everything you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Women love to talk about themselves.
Oh yeah.
So if you're doing it right, you shouldn't even be talking that much. And by asking well-informed, good leading questions, like you can get all your questions answered without even have to ask her in detail, like, what is your red flag? Because then again, you can ask them some specifics like, what do you like best in a guy? And she say, oh, he has to like puppies and he has to express himself and he can cry in front of me. And they're going to tell you all kind of bullshit. So you got to pay attention to what she responds to. And that takes a little time with her. And there's certain things like you have to know who you are and what you want to even begin to see how that's going to unfold. And that takes time. That takes time. You're going to learn through dating and a few relationships, like your hard nose, your non-negotiables, and this is understanding your boundaries. Because when you really like somebody, you're going to have the opportunity to have that conversation.
Yeah.
You're going to have the boundary conversation. You're not going to invite her over and say, okay, we got to have a conversation about boundaries. It's going to come up on its own because she's into you. She's attracted. She's starting to prod for information. And that opportunity to have that discussion is going to present itself. Because she's going to be asking you some shit at some point. Like, well, wait a minute. We've been seeing each other for 2 weeks. I don't know anything about this guy, but he knows everything about me, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing she's going to know is you're interesting, you ask questions, you're sincere, you seem like you care. So she's going to start asking you things, and she's going to be interested. Mystery is good. And that's when you have the opportunity to set these boundaries, have that conversation. So you got to know these things ahead of time before you even recognize what a fucking red flag for you is. And like some of mine superficially is like a loud, obnoxious woman. I like feminine, demure, pleasant, polite women. Like a woman who doesn't know how to behave in a restaurant and is mean to the wait staff. Like that's a turnoff for me. Or a chick who sits on her phone all the time. Or a chick who blurts to her friends all your personal business. Like that's just some of the superficial things. Argumentative. Is she solution oriented? Can she resolve conflict in a healthy way? Did she know how to express that she is in disagreement with you without emotional upheaval? Can she calmly lead into resolving a conflict? Accountability. Will she admit when she's wrong? That's a great quality for women to have. It's for her to call you the next day and say, look, I said something the other night I shouldn't have. For guys, it's easy. Like we're built with that. Unless you're just purposefully being stubborn and egotistical. And this is a good fucking sign. So listen up. A woman who can genuinely express that she may have crossed the line and possibly emasculated you in some kind of way, and for her to apologize for that and recognize that behavior. If you find a woman who does that naturally, you got to keep her. You got somebody worth looking at. You can build from that. Now, she could exhibit some red flags early on just because it's a habit. Because all these other guys she's been with don't say anything. So she could be a little bossy. Like I had this one chick I was with who wanted to tell me how to drive everywhere. Turn here, turn here. Like, look, sweetheart, you be the navigator. I'll be the captain. I got this. You don't have to worry about anything. Oh, okay, I was just trying to help. I said, thank you. You're so cute when you're trying to control me. Like I say shit like that just to throw her off a little bit.